Hey everybody, so maybe you're like Elena and I, and we didn't get a pre-order for the SNES Classic.
Which is both good and bad.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah. So you know what? We're gonna take matters in our own hands and make it ourselves with a handy-dandy Raspberry Pi. I have never used a Raspberry Pi. You have a little bit of experience doing this, so you're gonna be kind of my
very little.
My cheap herder into the Raspberry Pi retro Pi scene. So you know, we're like I said, we're doing this because you know the availability of SNES classics are real low. You know, maybe you don't want one. Maybe you want something that'll run NES, SNES, you know, Genesis, all the other kind of emulated stuff. You know, and you want that flexibility. Also, it's cheaper. All this stuff ended up being cheaper. Well, not the controller, but yeah.
So I mean, it depends what you actually build out, right? Your base components. I think you can get away with doing this build for about like 80 to 100, but it depends on how fancy you get with the controller, how big the SD card is, what kind of case you get for it. So it's very flexible. And that's kind of the nice thing about this.
Yeah, no. So I'll mention that we're going to be doing this build live on PC World's YouTube, and it's going to be on October 29th.
No, September 29th.
September 29th. September 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Pacific time.
So yeah,
because we are not morning people.
Yeah, yeah. Come join us. We'll have some fun. Maybe drink some beers and build a retro Pi. So yeah. Now let's get into the actual hardware. So you know, Elena had me pick up one of these. It's a Raspberry Pi 3. What's so special about Raspberry Pi 3?
So Raspberry Pi 3 is, I guess, maybe the first Raspberry Pi that's really capable of running some of the slightly newer consoles or classic consoles out there. So before you could do like NES pretty well, even SNES. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to keep it in the anti-static bag.
Beautiful. So small.
But so I've been hearing reports that you can actually run some N64 games off of this.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to give that a whirl finally this weekend because I need to play Ocarina of Time for maybe like the 50th time. So we'll see how well that works. I've heard conflicting reports about it, so we'll see.
And I don't have it with me, but it's powered via USB. So we've got a little wall wart, USB cable.
Right.
You know, then we're good to go on that. Same thing with the SD card. I need to pick up an SD card, but I'll probably get like a 64 gig or something. Do you think that's enough?
That should be plenty.
All right, cool.
You can get away with 16.
And then you also had me pick up these cute little heat sinks.
Yes, they're
Look at
so
that.
little.
And they literally have 3M tape.
Yeah, they have
on
like
the back.
Heat tape on the back right there.
So
these are super easy to install, like the easiest heatsink you'll ever install. It's like
no thermal paste.
It's ridiculous.
No P size. I mean, are we going to use all of these? It seems like
just the one.
Oh,
I think
just
it's
one.
The size,
oh, okay.
and you just put it right there.
Okay.
It's not absolutely necessary, but it's kind of nice just to have it. It's so cheap.
Why not? Yeah.
You may as well keep the heat down a little bit.
Yeah, and so the case, I went online. I was especially looking on Amazon for cases. I found a really awesome NES case, but because of the SNES, obviously, I wanted it to be themed to SNES. So you know, I really like the look of it, the feel of it. It's so classic. I mean, the coloring is just spot on, and I got it from collectorcraft.com. I want to give them a shout out because I really do appreciate this. It has a little fan inside for heat, and then you know I assume we just take it apart and slot it in there. It looks like it's got everything you need. So yeah, I really like the case, and I know you do too.
Oh my gosh, I have a Raspberry Pi build at home already, a retro Pi build, but I got the cheap $5 case. So
like the clear plastic one.
Yeah, it does the job, but it's not this.
So if you're getting an SNES Classic because it looks so cute and cool, I recommend going out there and look. So you know, this wasn't the only one out there, but this is the one that I appreciated the most. So you know, if if you're wanting the look and feel, you can still get it.
Do these actually move?
No, they don't. No, nothing movable in here. The NES one that I found had movable parts, which was nice.
Little lid flips up.
Yeah. So, and then the controller I'm going to use is the 8BitDo SNES 30 gamepad. So this is something I reviewed, I don't know, about a month ago, and I really loved this controller. It has the same feel and functions as the original SNES gamepad, but it's Bluetooth. It also has USB as well, so if you want to plug it in. But when you load the what do they call it? Legacy firmware, you can connect to a Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to be doing that and using this as the controller. So then,
Isn't this the best? Like, I just love this set.
Yeah. They look really well together. Yeah. I mean, this is not sure. It's not as good as what Nintendo's doing, but it's pretty damn close for what you're getting, and I mean, so much more customizable. So yeah, that's pretty much it for hardware. This isn't really much of a hardware build.
Yeah, so when we actually do the live build, it's going to be the entire process. So we're going to put together the hardware, which is going to take probably like 5 minutes tops.
Yeah, easy.
And then the rest of it's going to be the software. Kind of going through that process, seeing how it goes. We actually have this wonderful step-by-step tutorial on PC World that we're actually using that Benji wrote for us.
Yep.
And so in it, he goes over all the details. You just load up. You download RetroPie, which can be a standalone install, or you can install it over an existing full OS install.
Okay.
So if you already have like Raspbian on your system or your Raspberry Pi, you can still install RetroPie and load it.
Which do you recommend? What are we going to do for this?
I mean, I think for us, since we're only planning to use this as an emulator, I'm just like for mine, I just put RetroPie on there only.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, and how hard is it going to take to do all this? I mean, I've never done it, so
it shouldn't be too long.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes if you're not used to like the Linux stuff, which I'm not super familiar with, it can take a little bit longer. But if you're a Linux person, this should be super easy.
How many beers do you think we can get through?
Well, I mean, how many do you know to put away in an hour, right? You have to go by that metric.
Okay. So, and then once it's installed, and we figure it out, then we have to go get ROMs to play the actual games.
Right.
Correct. Which, we'll get into a little bit. This is a legal gray area, right?
Right.
It's not the most cut and dry, but I do have, these are my personal SNES carts that I've had for a long time. I've got Super Mario World, Gradius 3, Tetris Attack, which is one of the best puzzle games of all time. So, I own these. Can I legally download the ROMs and play them on my RetroPie? I
mean, if we're going by the assumption under U.S. law that you can have a copy or backup of something that you own, then I guess yes, but I am not a lawyer.
Neither am I.
So I wouldn't go beyond those boundaries if you're really worried about the legality of it.
So that's what we're going to do. We're literally going to load up these games because I own them and test them out. So what else can we expect from this build? Do you think we're going to run into any problems? Anything like that? Any unforeseen circumstances?
I mean, that'll happen during the build, right?
Yeah, right.
But I just foresee many hours of replaying things that I've already played way too many times when I have a huge Steam backlog. Yeah. So,
I'm excited.
Good times.
I'm excited. So yeah, once again, that is September 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific on PC World's YouTube. Just search PC World YouTube, and we're going to make a nice little link so that you can sign up for the notification. So when it goes live, come join us. Tell us what we're doing wrong or what we should be doing.
And rub it in our faces if you happen to get an actual SNES Classic.
Or, I mean, I got all this on Amazon, except for the carts. But you can probably maybe even buy that on Amazon. Who knows at this point?
Through some shady third-party seller.
Right, yeah. So, by the time that this goes up, you could go out and buy these parts and build it with us and have some fun.
Oh, that would be
right?
fun.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I encourage people to chime in and have some fun. So, yeah, I guess we'll see you next week.
See you in a week.
Yeah.